Hello everyone, welcome to the second weekly Cryptic. This is the solution to obviously this week's Cryptic. Hopefully you all enjoyed last week's Cryptic. I personally found it very fun. So this is the second Cryptic. As always, the link to the PDF is in the description, and this is going to be a solution for each of the clues. One across. Collective of seniors merged with water flow. The answer is stream. So the definition is water flow is a stream. If you remember from the last video, senior was S-or. Collective is a team. Merged with seniors gives team merged with S-R, which gives water flow, which is a stream. 4. Turkish city occurs opposite and adjacent to a near complete male cow. The answer to this is Istanbul. How this works, Turkish city, Istanbul, that's the definition. Opposite and adjacent, what occurs is. Opposite and adjacent, if you remember from maths, opposite over adjacent is tan. To a near complete male cow, to a near complete bull without its final letter gives Istanbul. 9. Keeping on the lowdown, someone expects certainty regarding extra time initially. So it's a very wordy clue. The answer to this is secret. And so how does it work? To keep on the down low is to keep a secret. And you get it from the wordplay for someone expects certainty regarding extra time initially. If you look at the initial letters of this sentence, S-E-C-R-E-T gives secret initially. 10. Separatist movement combined with lunch misalignment. Okay, so the answer to this is break off. So how does this work? Well, a separatist movement is if you're breaking off with something, combined with lunch misalignment, possibly the break is off. So this is kind of like a double definition in a way. So separatist movement is a break off, and lunch misalignment might be the break is off. The lunch break time is off. 11. Responsible through our own intuition, leading to owning up. The answer to this is accountability. How this works, leading to owning up is accountability. Responsible is to account for something. Through our own intuition, own ability gives accountability. 13. Cleaner to scan dishes after dinner, perhaps. This is a very funky clue. The answer to this is screen wash. Now there is a bit of a typo here. That should be a 6, not a 7. So the definition is cleaner, a screen wash, cleans a screen. To scan is to screen dishes after dinner. Now, what you perhaps might do with dishes after dinner is to wash them. So it gives screen wash, which is a cleaner. 14. Greek letter, partially misinformed about musical rhythm. The answer to this is beat. Now, this can be taken two ways, but the way that I've taken it is Greek letter partially misinformed means the Greek letter, in this case beta. Partially misinformed means swapping the last two around, so instead of beta it becomes beat. About musical rhythm, which is a beat. 16. Take away coffee nearly, despite my initial transgression over grand attire. Now, this is again a slightly combinatrix one, similar to actually the last week's one, which regarded water sports. This one, initial transgression over grand attire, is toga. You can get from the wordplay. What I tried to do for this is take away coffee nearly is to go, but if you say it in sort of a back contract, to be like to go with an A. And grand attire is also a toga, so it's kind of an everything clue. 18. This is probably the single hardest clue I've ever written. Daughter of Zeus, erased and their communication modernized. The answer to this is Persephone. Now, how the hell does this work? So, daughter of Zeus is the definition, is Persephone. Now this you can treat as erased and then another clause, but this actually means back in the old times where ampersand was a letter of the alphabet, the way you would end the alphabet would be WI6 and per se and. So if you erased and from their communication through letters, obviously thinking about this as being archaic, so you remove the and from the letter song, giving per se, and communication also links to communication modernized, which is a phone, giving per se phone or Persephone. 21. Washington City, wonkily encircling woman, missing component for broken automobile through warm attire. So this is a mental clue, but the answer to this is leather jackets. So how does this work? Well, Washington City is Seattle. Wonkily encircling, so wonkily is an anagram indicator, so you can see Seattle with L-E-A-T and S-E-T, you get Seattle out of that. Encircling woman is her. Component for broken automobile is a jack, because most of the time you have to lift the vehicle up using a jack. And warm attire is the definition, which is leather jackets. 23. Factor depicted fairest element merged feminine status. This is probably one of the nicer clues. It's Iron Lady. So factor depicted is the definition, the Iron Lady. Fairest element is iron. Merged feminine status merged with lady. 24. Boil an egg white. So this is a really odd looking clue. The answer to this is albino. How does this work? Well, white is a definition. If something's very white or lacking pigment, it's often white, is albino. Egg is an anagram indicator, so if you actually egg someone's house, it messes up the house. Messing leads to an anagram indicator of boil an, which gives albino. 25. Flipping vertex joiners and audible measures together. The answer to this is edgeways. So again, how the hell does this work? Well, flipping is the definition part of it. If something is edgeways, it is flipped in some incorrect orientation. A vertex joiner is an edge. And audible measures together, if you think of weights and measures, if you say to weigh something, so weigh, it sort of sounds like this way. And together it means edge and ways, creating edgeways. 26. Shut down surgery requirement. This is asleep. So again, this is another sneaky double definition that should include a question mark, but sometimes it doesn't. But most of the time, you can detect it by a question mark. Shut down is if you put something asleep. And surgery requirement, you're also meant to be asleep for most major surgeries. Okay, those are all the across clues. Now, for the down clues. Many particle and debris types used entirely within Miss Universe staple. The answer to this is sash. Many particle and debris types is ash. Used entirely within Miss Universe staple. Ash is contained within a sash, which is the sort of bit of, I don't know, fabric or paper or whatever that they wear over their shoulders in Miss Universe. 2 down. Sporting equipment perfectly mirrored. This one is race car. So sporting equipment is a definition. Perfectly mirrored means it's palindromic. So race car is palindromic. 3. Psychological normie entraps Moscow in flowers. So the answer to this one is anemones. So how does this work? Well, psychological normie is someone who is sane. Entraps Moscow, so Moscow is capital, leaving out the Y for money. So money is in itself capital. So Moscow to capital, capital to money. Entraps Moscow in flowers, which are anemones. 5. Area of water with partly complex part inside class clown with possibly Irish background. Now this one is Sargasso Sea. How this works, the Sargasso Sea is an area of water in the Western Atlantic. Partly complex part is arg, so the argument of a complex number. Inside class clown, so they are gas. This also links with the Irish background. Usually in Ireland, if someone's funny, we call them gas. Possibly Irish background is the O, so as in like O'Shea or Donovan. Possibly Irish background gives Sargasso Sea. 6. Orange wood with 2 electric currents terminating somewhere in the center of the state's postcodes. So it did actually do a US state postcode one in the previous one, so this is where it goes back again. The answer to this is acacia. So acacia is kind of like an orange sort of dark browny wood. 2 electric currents is 2 ACs, alternating current, terminating somewhere in the center of the state's postcodes, in particular Iowa. So Iowa has the state postcode IA, and it's terminating there, giving ACIA, or acacia. 7. Sudanese demarcation historically, collapsing last of inner wheels using a chemical compound. So the definition is chemical compound, and the answer is bromide. That should be a D, not a B. So how does this clue work? Sudanese demarcation is a border, and when they originally drawn the border, they messed up. So again, messing anagram indicator. So we have border, historically, collapsing the last of border, which gives board E. Inner wheels is a rim, so board E and rim, putting sort of together, gives bromide, which is a chemical compound. 8. Louisiana City Frenchman. This is another double definition, and this is Lafayette. So Lafayette is a city in Louisiana, but also there's plenty of Frenchmen with the last name Lafayette. The first one I can think of is Marquis de Lafayette, the French astronomer who died in absentia. 12. A fresh startup to airy endways. The answer to this one, towards 12 here, is New Year's Day. Why is it? A fresh startup is New Year's Day. You start fresh with obviously your resolutions and whatnot. Now, fresh startup to airy endways. Airy endways, if you make a fresh thing, so a fresh start with airy endways, you end up with New Year's Day. 13. Romania to Russia observer. This is satellite. How this works is during World War II, Romania was a satellite state to Russia, and obviously an observer can be a satellite. So again, another double definition there. 15. Directional improvisations to advance people's career. This is up skills. So directional is up, improvisations is skills, and if you upskill, you essentially go up the ranks of a corporate hierarchy. 17. Following a loud instrument in range of bank scrambling to retrieve part of allowance. So hang on, that should be a G. So it is go along. Loud instrument is gong. Following range of bank scrambling to achieve part of allowance to achieve part of loan. So it is kind of wishy-washy in a bit of a middle. But to go along, essentially to retrieve part of. So if we go along with someone, we essentially retrieve part of them by following along with them. 19. Park bench locale marked by tedious drunkards. So park bench locale is the definition. The word is outside. Reason being is tedious drunkards. If you are a drunkard with the word tedious, you get the word outside. 20. Rules radioactive element and large mammal meat will follow. So this is the law. So we have rules with the law. Radioactive element is thorium, and large mammal meat can always be thinking of as whale, which will follow the radioactive element, which gives the law. And lastly, 22. Joining a soloist for a free meal is comp. So free meal is to have it comped. Joining a soloist, if you do that, well, comp is another word as in to sort of like the FT, like featuring, but specifically with the solo artist. If you comp, you join in with them. So that's the full board completed. Hopefully that was slightly better than the first one. I've definitely learned in due time. And I hope to see you all in the next one.